Communication and Design at RMIT Vietnam, one of the major sponsors of the festival. So on behalf of RMIT Vietnam and our partners, UNESCO, BCAS, Hanoi Grapevine and High-End Gallery, I'd like to welcome you today to this event. And a particular thank you to Sumit, one of our lecturers who has pulled this whole day together. Thank you, Sumit. And to our guest speakers today, thank you, from industry, Chris Catchpole, good friend of mine, fellow AI artist, Tarun Dhawan. Tarun, thank you. He's Managing Director of Mobilays. Lê Bá An Bình, hope I pronounced that correctly, Commercial Director at Zalo, and Business Managing Director at APTIM. Have I forgotten somebody? No? Okay. All right. So today it's all about the advertising industry in Vietnam, and we have a series of workshops. The first one is about how we embrace innovation and technology. And we've been talking about this, AI has had a massive impact in the industry and other technologies as well, so I think that's going to be a really interesting topic. Our second is about how we develop talent in the advertising industry in Vietnam, which of course, it's all very well having technology, but if you haven't got the talent that can use it, it's not very useful. And then our third session is about how you build trusted relationships between agencies and clients. And of course that is also very important. It's so much easier to retain a client than it is to find a new one. So how you get that relationship and keep that relationship going is really, really important. So I hope you get a lot out of today. I hope if you enjoy the event, you will share on social media. The festival is about helping the creative industry in Vietnam. Supporting young talent, promoting the creative industries as a future career for young people. And the more people who know about it, the more people get involved, the higher impact we can have, which is the purpose of the event. We want to make sure that everybody understands that Vietnam has a lively, vibrant, innovative, creative industry, and that is something that everybody should be part of, and it has a really important role in the economy of this country. So I'm going to hand you over to Sumit. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you find it really inspiring, and thank you for coming and participating.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Julia, for this great introduction. So the first session, like Julia said, we have 3 sessions. And the first session is about embracing innovation and technology, right? So I asked AI to write me a small note related to today's session. And the AI wrote, explore how technological advancements are reshaping the advertising landscape. Then I said, Vietnamese advertising landscape. Then it said, okay, yes, fine. Then highlight the importance of adopting cutting-edge technologies. Artificial intelligence, mobile advertising and marketing, and some other technological things that are happening around the world. So I again want to call our dear guests, Tarun, Ben, and Chris. Please come on the stage, and we are going to start the session. I'm a left-handed person, so easier for me to move this way. Right, so as this is going to be a panel discussion, and I'm going to ask a few questions, and some questions will be specifically for some of you, and some questions will be more generic ones. So let's start. Yes, big hand of applause, everyone. Guys, come on. Right. So let me ask the first question. What do you think, according to you, are the key technological trends that have significantly impacted our advertising industry, not only in Vietnam but around the world? So, Ben, you want to start? Come on, Chris.
Yes. I can do this kind of. You sent a list of questions last night.
Yes.
I didn't read them. So my responses are actually directly to your questions right now. What technological advances Are you talking about other than AI?
Like whatever you, yeah, whatever you think.
Okay, let's go. I can go back 11 years in advertising in Vietnam, because I arrived almost 12 years ago. But so 2012 was when I got first one. Production is actually a lot slicker. For me, the actual the quality of production has gone up a lot. In terms of technology helping that, I mean, I used to go out to Thailand a lot because the finishing was better there, the post-production was better there. It's good here now. Is it on par? Probably. You know, there are some good places here now. There are an awful lot of production houses here now, so the technology to be able to produce as well as create in Vietnam has got a lot better. So in terms of Vietnam moving up, they have. Technology at the moment I feel needs to be harnessed more to help creativity in Vietnam, which I think is nosedived. And it's not just me saying that, it was the chief executive of an agency here who told me this too, a local chief executive, so she's been amazing. In the last 6 years, it's gone off a cliff. I've basically written that, you know, you've got people coming out of RMIT University, and this year, this gentleman here led a team which won a D&AD Black Pencil. So D&AD Black Pencil is the pinnacle of creativity and creative awards worldwide. There is nobody in the creative industry in Vietnam who's won an accolade as high as that, as this student team did. Nobody has ever won that. Okay, let's say it's student work, and there is a real client, but it's still speculative. It's not a campaign that's run, but nonetheless, it's still, you know, this gentleman has helped craft it with these people, push them. They end up winning a Black Pencil. Let's not take away the accolades. So they have now trained to this level, and they're going to enter an industry they expect work at this level. There's a big disparity. So there's an awful lot that needs to change in this country to lift the level of creativity. And I'm going to get slapped for that, and lots of people will be pissed off hearing me say that. But look at the work. Okay, hands up. Who knows of a campaign this year they thought was absolutely outstanding, and they shared it with all their friends? You don't have to, from Vietnam. You don't have to put your hand up, and you don't have to. But at the moment, I think you're probably racking your brains thinking, what have I seen this year? In fact, I could even say to you, what have you seen in the last 10 years? And you've gone, oh my God, that's amazing. Right now, the teams that I'm working with, some quite junior people. In fact, I realised yesterday that all the people sat around me are the same age as my children. So they become my adopted children, and I love them, and I have to teach them, and I hope they learn stuff from me as I do from them. But I asked them, can you, just out of interest, can you tell me a campaign that you really love in Vietnam, which that made you laugh, made you remember it, made you share it, made you talk about it? Oh yes, I remember this one that Vietnam did. It's sort of like a big cow sat on a bench, and there's a little boy sitting next to him, and eventually the cow falls off the bench. It's really funny. Yeah, that was 14 years ago, and it is a good ad. It's great we're still talking about it. But where the hell is the stuff in between in the last 14 years? There's another one, brilliant one, that a friend of mine did, David Smale, BVDO, and it was for KFC. They did 3 little short 15-second ads. And there's somebody, one of them is like somebody sitting out eating noodles on the pavement, and a big load of smoke covers him, and you can't even see his food because of the motorbike, it's starting up. Another one where he gets covered in water because a car goes around the bend. The best one of all, which I don't think you can even do it now, was whistles go, quick, police, and they have to take all the street furniture away quickly, and they even take the bowl out of his hand. Yeah. And it's really funny. And there's even, eating KFC, you eat in a nice place. And these are really, really good ads. I once asked him, how the hell did you get them through? How did they get approved? He said, we had no time, we had no money. They just had to get something out quickly because it was they were a sale, or not a sale, but a special offer ads. We had 6 weeks from the moment they briefed us to the moment it had to be on air. They had no time to meddle. And that is the worst thing that happens in the urban right now. It is meddling. And it is overthinking. You can overthink something to death. And that's what's happened. Let's try to push out the overthinkers and get in the real thinkers. That would be helpful.
Hopefully technology helps. Yes.
Sorry, that was proper platform stuff, wasn't it? I didn't mean to take that.
That's all right. Tarun, you have been doing some really good work in terms of technology and mobile marketing and mobile advertising. Can you also throw some light there?
Sure.
Related to technology, what is that?
Yeah, sure. It was great when he was here, and some of the work was phenomenal. In terms of, my career has moved from creative, and now it's media, digital, mobile. So I've seen the world in its glory when we were really building ideas. I think right now focus is more on executions and not so much on the ideas, and we are unable to differentiate between an idea and an execution, which is needed. And hopefully RMIT, with all the work and inspirational sessions you guys do, will help achieve that. But from the media perspective, if you ask how technology has changed or is changing, there are a few ways how it has impacted media as well. So programmatic advertising, for instance, has revolutionized the way we buy and sell media through programmatic advertising. So programmatic advertising is basically automated media buying, where you are able to target specific audiences and reach them more effectively and more efficiently. For instance, on the mobile side, we have capability. We have in Vietnam, I was just telling a friend over there that we reach 40 million devices in Vietnam. So we have device IDs, and I know you will wonder about privacy concerns. We are completely compliant, so we don't capture any personal data of the user. But through an SDK integration, we capture the device information. So when you download an app on your device, basically we know our SDK sits on that device and we capture that information. So we have device profiles of 40 million devices in Vietnam, and very rich capabilities of how to target them, whether they are gender-wise or age-wise, certain income parameters, behavioral targeting, and most importantly, location targeting. So if you want to target audiences only within certain geographies, all that is capable. We have technology that is able to do that today, which was not available a few years ago. And of course, AI is, I'm sure AI will keep coming up again and again in today's conversation. But we all know the impact of AI on creative development and as well as in other aspects of marketing communication. So there is AI, there is machine learning, chatbots, which I'm sure you will talk about. I'm sure. So many ways how technology has impacted the way we market, the way we create, and the way we reach our audiences.
Okay, let me chip in a little bit as well. So just for you guys to know a bit about me also, I started my career as a marketer. So I worked with some don't call it something like that. Before I moved into the role as a media publisher. So changing from the way I collaborate with this creative guy in crafting communication strategy into how to distribute them and get to you guys more effectively in platforms like Zalo or New. So from that, when I see the question of what is the key technological trend in the recent year, I ask myself, what has been my recent last year or last 10 years? But a few things I saw the change is first one is advertising become more native. What I mean native is that they blend into the current and the adjacent content around the platform or the context. You used to see Before, when there's a TVC online or on TV, it's going to be a campaign and then a media ad break. So it's very exclusive, right? Now everything becomes more native. And take a look, when you take a look into your Facebook feed or Zalo feed, you're going to see content start like feel like a very long list of content. It's not an ad anymore. So that's what I mean by becoming more native. So that's the first. Secondly, in terms of format, you start to see a lot of first is already mobile centric. Before you're going to see a lot of like horizontal ads. Now it has to become vertical. So to fit with your device. So that's very important. You see a lot of short videos. Before TVC going to be minutes. Now it has to be like 15 seconds, or it has to be a short reels or a short TikTok video. And it has to be more entertaining to fit well with the platform. So those kind of things I think is because of technology have changed. Consumer behavior has changed, and that's impact a lot in terms of advertising, in terms of the way you consider the format.
Are there any global technological advancements that has been really well adopted in Vietnam?
I think overall, talking about programmatic buying, I think it's now every major corporation is now doing the buying through technology. We don't do direct booking anymore, almost.
Yeah. But yeah, just to build on, I think there is hope for the future. We should not be so dismayed.
Sorry, yeah. Something with the new students coming through.
Yeah, with the new, so we look forward to that. You know how we know the tools that empower us now, which were not there in the past, and the whole mid-journey or other AI tools will liberate you, will help you to think and build those amazing campaigns that we hope to see. So, in terms of tech included in Vietnam, I think on programmatic advertising, it is already there. Some of the leading agencies are already buying everything through programmatic buying. But we will see tech impacting creative as well very soon.
Do you have any examples where you have used some kind of interesting technology which had got really good results here?
I have carried 4 videos as backup. So if you would like, I can do that, or I can just talk about it.
I can show you some.
So before you show it, I'll just tell you a little bit about this. This is for a brand of a pharmaceutical company called Sanofi, and it's a brand called Entrogermina, which is for stomach infections. So you will see over here how we use data and technology to do targeting. So it's not so much about the creative side. We need Chris to help us over there, but more on the media side. So how technology is used to identify those users who are at risk of a stomach infection, and then how to reach them and target them with the correct message. We can play that. This is Sanofi. It's called Sanofi. This one. Yeah.
Okay, sound. Headphone, okay, speakers. And you go to the speaker.
I think it's fine. I'll just forward it to the screen that shows. Yeah.
You can give the voice.
Yeah, it's in the voice.
Yeah.
Talking through it, it's fine. We're talking through it.
Yeah. So basically, we built a predictive model to identify people who are at risk of a stomach infection. So we use device data, location data, behavioral data, and audience data to understand. So what we did, we identified all the places where people eat out. So you identify the places which you will eat out, street stalls for example, and those are high risk areas. So if your visitor goes there and goes back home, it is likely, hopefully not, but there is a high risk of stomach infection. So you target those like school canteens, street stalls, hawker centers, etc. And then you also map the pharmacy. So we mapped 1,000 pharmacies, which would FPP pharmacies and pharmacies. And you identify people who go into pharmacies as well. And then through all those multi-dimensional understanding, you are able to precisely target the audiences that are at risk and then drive them to the store so that they can purchase the drug for their conditions that they have. That is being done on the media side. How do you target? How do you identify the person first? Then how do you target them?
Great. There is a lot of impact as well.
Yeah, impact. So unfortunately, there is no sound, but maybe on another occasion we share that again.
And then I also would like to share one of the example that worked really well from our side, from our client. So our client is from Unilever, so which is a detergent brand, but focused on the rural. So the rural people normally they still watch a lot of TV, especially some of the melodrama channel or whatever, long TV. So starting from that, normally it's going to be in the media plan. It's going to be a two separate plan, right? You have a TV plan, focus on a spot, a few spots, and then a digital plan. I think because of the technologies, what I think I can do is that when people are target audience, which is the mom in the rural area of that place, when they watch their TV, we can also sync up that, and also because of the behavior. Multi-screen, meaning that you watch TV, but you also check your phone. We were able to sync that, okay, if you watch the TV at that specific moment, you can also having a message and redeem a price there by interacting. So only technology
Real-time
setting, yeah, real-time. So that gives a lot of good positive results for some, and they're very happy with a kind of multi-channel at the same time.
Yeah. So real-time marketing is a growing field, and we've done a few other cases, implemented real-time marketing thinking over there. For example, if you're a sunscreen, your Sunplay or any of the sunscreen brands, you are able to, when the user clicks on the ad, you can show them the real-time UV index at that place and tell the user, remind the user that the UV index at your current location is high, hence you need to be protected and be protected with whatever the brand of sunscreen is. So those kind of signals, so we draw that signal through an API or weather API, we integrate that into an ad to make the message more personal and more relevant to the audience. So personalization as a concept also comes in through the use of technology. So it could be weather, for Sanofi we've also done weather where we say the index, the pollution index is very high. Because the pollution index is very high, the risk for allergy is very high. Hence you promote Telfast as antihistamine medicine. So those are some of the examples how very practically you can see the evidence of technology being used for different campaigns.
Great, thank you. Great examples, right, guys? Okay, so let's move to the next question. And so, what do you think? Like, what role do you see AI, artificial intelligence, playing in the future of advertising, especially in Vietnam? And Chris, you have already been working on that field, so can you throw some light, please? Also, what are the barriers?
What are the barriers? Okay, so I started my little AI journey on, I think it was the 5th of August last year. So it's about 15, 16 months now, I think. I'm well over 40,000 images now on my journey. So I've got a bit addicted. But I realised, I hope you understand this. But basically, I'm an old dog, and this is a new trick. So I tried to get up to speed very quickly with something which I thought was fascinating, something which was progressive, something which was open to all. I mean, we've stopped using, people who do AI have stopped using this term, which is it democratizes creativity. Because actually, anyone can take a photo, but there's only really a few great photographers. So you have millions of pictures on your phones. I have, on my phone, there are over 150,000 images. Okay, it's mental. Are all those great images? No, they're not. I discussed with a mate of mine in London earlier this year a new term. Rather than being a creative director, maybe one day soon there will be a role for a curator director, someone who chooses. So AI can give you tens of thousands, millions, hundreds of millions of images, of words in text, and give you brilliant ideas. Somebody has to sift through those to say, well, that's the right one for the client. We are not artists, we're commercial artists. We can create beautiful things, but they have to be beautiful things that sell. As David Ogilvy once said, we sell or else. Okay, so and the or else is we go out of business. No clients will give us money. This gentleman here needs to ensure that when we do work for him and he runs the work, it needs to shift the needle in terms of sales. If it doesn't, then they don't come back for more. Why would they? If you invested $1 million VND in something, you got 10 million VND back, great, you'll keep investing. If you get 10,000 VND back, you won't go back there again. It's quite straightforward. In terms of AI, so the positive stuff. I do a lot in Mid-Journey, but I also play with DALL-E, play with Ideogram, which Julie was just talking about just now. Ideogram is great for actual words, real words. Mid-Journey is quite bad for words, but Mid-Journey is still amazing. DALL-E has taken a massive, DALL-E 3 has taken a massive leap forwards. The quality of the image is amazing, and it does things that Mid-Journey can't. You don't necessarily have to prompt an image of an Asian girl with a moustache, but I did. I wanted to do a test. DALL-E can give me an Asian girl with a moustache. Mid-Journey gives me a beautiful Asian girl with no moustache. I wanted for a lecture at RMIT on Wednesday to have, I don't know if you know the phrase, as rare as hen's teeth. So hens don't have teeth. So if something is very rare, then we say it's as rare as hen's teeth. Like, oh my God, look at this. And so I did an image of a hen doing with a big smile with teeth. Mid-Journey could have given me that. DALL-E gave me some beautiful ones of that. I also did another test, which was I wanted to have a chicken with an eye patch, just covering up one eye, a black eye patch. Again, Mid-Journey couldn't do that. DALL-E can. It's not to say Mid-Journey's bad. It's to say DALL-E's great, Mid-Journey's also great. It's just knowing what they're great at. Okay. So next thing. So people say, you know, I'm not going to talk about the haters. There's no point. There's really not. There's a lot of people out there who really despise AI. And actually, would you mind getting my presentation? I'm going to show you the first 2 pages of the presentation. That's super important. Okay. So yeah, just if you run it full screen, that's cool. So this one here. So I came across this. Yeah, that's perfect. I came across this in there's a guy that I follow, Edmund Yang. He's worth following too. He's an absolute pioneer. I'd say I'm second level pioneer. I'm not the top end. I'm not pushing it as far as it'll go because I have a day job. But earlier this year, I didn't have a day job, so I actually did an awful lot of tests. And then all I do all the time is test, see how you can push it. Because then, when you amass all this information, then you can use it in the commercial world. And that's what's brilliant. And we're going to show you a little film in a minute. I'll stop talking, I promise. But this is really important. It says AI will not replace you, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about it, because everyone's scared. We're all going to lose our jobs. We are. Next one. The next slide, sorry. Yes, that's correct. Next slide. Yeah. A person using AI will. That was his little prophecy back in December last year, so a year ago. I do lots of lectures now on AI all over the world. I've done lectures in the UK, but also all over the world is online, because anyone can dial in. So about a month ago I did one. It was about 100 people from multiple different countries. And I'm getting to the stage where I'm doing like about one a week now. And some people even pay me for this stuff. Because I don't think there's any experts on AI, but there's some people who know how to apply it into their daily jobs, and that's what I'm doing. So actually, click through some of this stuff, sorry. Oh, perfect, thank you, that's perfect. I just wanted to, I'm going to go through this really, really quickly, but I just wanted to show you, these are some of the images that I've created. I updated this literally just before I came here, so it says here 36,000, but bizarrely about 6 months ago, they shaved off 10,000. So I think it's well over 40,000 now. It's not a boast, it's just saying, this is exploration. I wanted to get really, really good at it. And I've got better, there are people better. Julia follows a lot of people who are a lot better than me. There's some amazing artists out there. But I'm trying to stay on the commercial art side, see how to apply it. So we'll get that. Where's the next? Oh, yeah. Let me just show you this. There's no sound, is there? Yeah. Oh, God, no. You need sound. You got enough sound.
Maybe let me do this.
Anyways, yeah. Let me go back. You really do need to see this. Okay, you can't film this. I'm sorry, it's not even been released yet. Sorry, would you mind switching those off? Is that all right? So it's a stupid request. Okay, can somebody tell them just to switch this off just while I play the film? It's literally that.
Okay, yeah, don't show the screen.
Don't show the screen.
Don't show the screen.
Just point at these guys. It's okay. Sorry. Yes. There's a version of this film which has been released last week. And then this version on here, it hasn't been released yet, so I can show it to you, but I can't. Yeah, 2 seconds, I'll go back. So this is the one before it, the page before it. That's it, right? Cool, thank you. So you have to put the microphone next to the screen. Brilliant, thanks. Thanks again. Yeah, double click. You just put it in the presentation mode in the line. Okay, so have a watch, see what you think. We even created the voice now. It's that's 72 seconds just watched there, and that is all AI, including the voice. The gentleman saying that is dead. He didn't say that, an AI voice said that. We mimicked his voice. We were able to take an original recording of his voice, put it into AI, we cleaned it up, put it into AI, and got him to say that. He couldn't say those words. He said the original words, but he couldn't say the updated words because he's not around anymore. We got AI to do that. And that was a little nod to people who know those original words because they are quite famous. So Arthur C. Clarke said that, but he didn't say trying to predict the future in 2023. We got the AI to say that in his voice. Now, obviously, people with issues got like saying, well, what about copyright in his voice, and what about his own words? And it's still a grey area. But when a massive bank like this is happy to put their name to it, then we feel quite confident as a creative industry that we're progressing very quickly. I created about 1,500 images in about a day.
Wow.
For those films, especially 4 of those films. Am I a genius in AI? No, not at all. I'm just a normal bloke. I'm just a creative bloke. I've been doing this for a very long time because I'm an old creative bloke, but so I'm able to pick out the ones that I like best. But I would implore all of you to try working in AI. It's really easy to get started, it's really easy to get going. Getting really good at it takes a bit longer. I promise it does take a bit longer. But you can use ChatGPT to drive your prompts. There is so much. These I'll read through very quickly. These look, version 5.1. You do beautiful, beautiful work. You think, well, how are you going to use that in advertising? You're not, and it doesn't matter. It's just it started creating really nice faces, and this was version 5.1. We're now version 5.2. It's just lovely stuff. This is now you can produce. We could print that on a billboard. That's a 54 megabyte file directly out of Midjourney. So you can get really, really high resolution now. It came about 3 weeks ago. And on one of my talks, I created that whilst we were just talking. And it's simple. These, I have, this time last year, I went to Bluebeam Street and I got some artists, can you paint me one of my AI pictures? So taking from the digital world into the real world. And this is, it doesn't matter if you like the subject matter. It's just, I loved the image, and then when it was painted, I thought, wow, that's now, people say, but it's not art. It is now. And what art is someone's interpretation or opinion. One thing that I wanted to say, actually, I do books, I write books and things and illustrate them with AI. It's an original concept. For me, first and foremost, idea. Have an idea first. That's the original bit. That's me. After that, I can illustrate it in AI. I can do a storyboard in AI. I can do the final artwork in AI. I can put together this. I can even get it to write the story. That film, the original idea was about the client DBS said, "Can you do us a film, a kind of AI film?" I said, "What's your brief?" I said, "That's it." That's actually quite terrifying because there is no brief. It's a totally open canvas. You should create something which people are going to go, wow, man. We did. In a day I was able to write 5 scripts. Not because I'm great, just because it's just so open, you're not confined by stuff. Is it selling anything? No, it's selling a philosophy, which is keep positive more. So I asked AI and ChatGPT, can you write me a negative vision of the future? Whenever I get anything back from ChatGPT, I always say thank you. Okay, so I will get off this in a minute, I promise, but I say thank you. I don't know who I'm thanking, but it feels appropriate. Someone's giving me something. I always teach my kids. I've got 5 kids. I always teach them all. Say thank you for stuff. If someone gives you something, say thank you. So I thank ChatGPT for giving me answers. It gives me great answers. And I said, that's sad, but thank you. ChatGPT is described, as some of the other AIs are described as being near, if not totally sentient. And that means that they are indistinguishable from a human being. The response you get from a human being, a very intelligent human being, because the one comes back, but they are thinking, almost feeling. They came back with a response to mine, that's sad, because of 10 negative points about the rest of the future of the world. Came back and it said, it is indeed a sad prospect, but we, including itself here, have the ability to change things. If we look at social responsibility, look at trying to create peaceful environments, trying to recycle, whoa, you've given me a way back from this? I immediately then put in, can you write me a positive view of the future? Because this is the idea, negative and positive. And it says, certainly, in a more positive view, it's referring back to what it's just written. That was a proper jaw-dropping moment, a little shaky moment. I think, oh my God, this is clever. It's so clever. They gave me a positive, and I said, smiling, and my little response was, for real, I should have put it in here, smiling now, thank you. And he said, very happy to hear that you're smiling now. We do indeed have it in our hands to change. I thought, wow. And that became the basis of that film. And the film, from sign up of the script to actually delivering the film, was 13 days. I flew to Bangkok in that time to get the production house to do it, and there's lots of work, an enormous amount of work working through the nights, but we did make a film in that time. Impossible to do in a standard production house. Just about impossible. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that was. Yes. Right.
Thank you. No, that's great. That's great. That's a great perspective, especially from the creative person's perspective. But if I have to ask the same question from the perspective of a client, like how are they using AI, then Tarun, can you give some words?
Yeah, sure. So firstly, I really like the curator director. That's interesting. And I think in future there will also be prompt engineers, who is able to write a better prompt. It will be about that. And of course, the industry is evolving so rapidly, and we don't know how AI will impact creative agencies, but we have to embrace it and learn it. So, if you are still resisting, you should go out there and create an account or ChatGPT or Midjourney or whichever platform. In terms of how AI is impacting clients and the work, I can speak more on the media side and how that works. But in terms of personalization or processing large amounts of data, which was not possible, humanly possible to do in the past, is now machines are able to do that. You can do predictive analysis, which was not possible to do in the past. Now you can. So you can feed the system your previous year's data, and it can predict what the future will be like. So there are many different models that have developed. There is something called media mix modeling, which is MMM, and there are different research theories. We have one attendant over here from a very celebrated research agency over here, and maybe at some point we will share an idea to speak at that point. So research and how AI or ML, machine learning, is impacting clients' work and how they are able to do analysis, do optimization. Now we can easily say where the traffic came from and what is the quality of traffic from different platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Zalo. You can give 20 platforms and we can predict, optimize based on the quality of the traffic. We can know how conversions were, not just where the traffic comes from, but which traffic is high quality versus not high quality, which traffic may convert or not convert. And within that, A/B testing, for example, which particular ad has worked better than the other. In many different ways, AI is being used. On creative also, like I don't know if you guys have seen the IKEA ad where you can scan your living room and try and see how you can select a furniture and see how it will look in your living room. Right? So those are examples of how AR is being used for creative as well. So there are many such examples. In US, I earlier talked about location targeting for using mobile data. So there was a campaign where Burger King tracked users who go to McDonald's outlets and gave them a $1 deal. Yeah? So it was called a burger detour or something like that. So you detour the traffic. So you track the users who go into McDonald's, target them only and give them a fantastic offer so they can convert. So there are many creative ways how you can leverage different aspects of technology, whether AR, AI, ML, whatever acronyms you want.
So I think when you're talking about AI and how you're impacting the advertising, I think it's two perspectives. First one is that the nuclear block, the generative AI, right, is more about creating things. And for me, that generative AI have democratizing creativity, meaning that it's making creativity accessible to almost everyone. I don't talk about the big brand, because big brand, they're going to have someone like Chris who do all the subtle things to make it a piece of art. But I'm talking about all those SME or the street hawkers or all the social sellers. Before they could do it, before they want to try to craft a description of their product themselves. Now with generative AI, they can do a bunch of beautiful things that you see a few examples there. So for us as well, Zalo, we also already embedding the generative AI into our advertising system. So a social seller now can log in, put in a photo of their product, a few description, and it's generated for you an ad. So that's what I mean by providing creativity for everyone. It is not too perfect, but it's already a lot better than having the social seller to write their own selling business. The second important part of AI is that it's not on the front end, but it's on the back. I think I will share a bit about analytics. Now, you know really well about your market audience. Before, when we're talking about customer segmentation, because of the limitation of technology and insight, basically you go back to demographics, right? It's an age, gender, stuff like that. And then you get kind of like lookalike audience where you've got a few thousand phone number and the system try to give you similar people. So it's already an improvement because you don't really care about their age or their gender. You just know that because of the machine learning and artificial intelligence, you can predict similar people. Yes. Yeah. But now it's even more advanced because now it's going to have continuously loops. Before, when you upload it, you have a lookalike audience and that's it. And then later on, you have to, a few months later, you extract another phone number. Now you just put in from the beginning. The system tries to understand and try to create a continuously feedback loop so that we can improve the audience further and further. I think that's a very important perspective and already implemented very well in advertising, in Vietnam, especially on advertising.
Did you hire outside specialists for doing the new technological advancements, or did you already have it in-house?
Already in-house.
In-house.
Yeah, because ad serving is our core business, so that's why we have to do that.
Oh, great. Yes.
I would like to, building on your point on building ads using AI to build ads, it would be great to show one of the examples from India, this is for Cadbury's, a chocolate brand. Yeah. And how they used this celebrity, there's this famous Bollywood star called Shah Rukh Khan, and only big brands can afford him, right? He's so expensive. But how they use technology to make it possible for every small retailer to leverage his voice and make him a spokesperson for their particular shop. So it could be a small retail shop which sells watches or jewelry or anything, and how they use it. So take a look at this. This one at Cannes this year, a Grand Prix.
Shah Rukh Khan, my man.
You'll suddenly have more devoted fans than any other movie star in the world. The biggest movie star in the world.
Fools are one of the biggest movie stars in the world. They helped small businesses by making Shah Rukh Khan the world's biggest movie star and brand ambassador.
इस दिवाली आप भी अपने पास वाले फैशन में बोले से ही कपड़ों की शौक करें। सिर्फ
Shah Rukh Khan's face and voice to take the local store names in the ads.
लिबास वाले चॉइस ऑफ फैशन से ही रॉयल फैशन से ही पिंकी क्लॉथ से ही पास वाली लक्ष्मी कलेक्शन से ही
Different versions of the same ad with local store names were targeted as per the pin code of the viewer, showing them only the nearby stores. But it is impossible to cover all the stores, so we gave the power to the people to create their own version of Shah Rukh Khan. My ad. Any small business owner could promote their stores through their own social media networks like WhatsApp forwards and other social media pages.
Is Shah Rukh Khan selling your store? Man, if you're a small-time retailer or a merchant, what an amazing thing to have.
Actually, even ad campaign that has gone by.
And big star boys and star Shah Rukh Khan. Many cars on social media.
And what we're learning is that over 1 lakh local stores have already created their own ad to try to be brand ambassador.
Okay, now, this celebration's day, Diwali ad.
Shah Rukh Khan, my ad.
So AI is making money for advertising already.
But the really beautiful thing about that is because that came out after all the small businesses, every business suffered because of COVID. The big businesses can get back in business and can hire actors like that. Small businesses, no chance. So they gave people, you see 130,000 films are created. So you put your own business in there, he says your business name. It's like, let's say, Helen Hart. Imagine her saying that small business now. So suddenly it's like, oh my God, you got her to do that. And they talk about it and they share it like crazy. I actually came from a direct marketing background, so I'm big on data and I love data, I love personalization. I did a film 12 years ago now, before I came here in Amsterdam, with Volkswagen, where you could put in, you answer 10 questions and your 10 answers appeared in the film. So you can personalize films, you can easily do it. Here, I've presented personalized films to clients for the last 9 years, and nobody does any of them. But we've almost got there. We've almost got there with the .com thing. But nonetheless, and I think once people start to do personalized ads, and things like that where it actually says, the voice says the name, that's sophisticated, that's very clever. And if we can do that for clients, and they can actually say names, when you hear your name or see your face in a commercial, it blows you away. You share it with everybody. That personalized ads is fantastic. If you could do the first advertiser here who does them will steal the market.
I agree. Okay, so I want to ask one last question before then we'll give a chance to audiences to ask any questions. So how do you think, how can young professionals in the industry stay ahead of the curve, right? And adapt to any future technology, not only AI, it's a mindset. And what can educational institutions like RMIT can do to kind of help that and enhance that? So we can, you can answer from each perspective, from the media perspective, from the technologist perspective, or from the creative perspective. So Ben, can you just answer?
Sure. I think to stay up to date with this trend, first I think you need to be skimming the game. Meaning like people, these two guys already say, go sign up for ChatGPT, Midjourney, play with it, to feel the essence of it. I think that's very important. However, I think even more important to be up to date, to be outdated, is really about stepping back and to see if these things are just a gimmick or if it's a real trend. Because I think with generative AI, especially with that's actually sometimes you got hallucination, right? You need to know exactly if that's a real thing or not. And sometimes for me, even though these things are shiny new things on the block, I still feel like if you understand the human well, if you understand the universal thing behind it, then it will never be released.
How can institutions like RMIT, what role can they play?
Oh, that's tough. I think it's no,
That's your job. You can work.
I need to know the online from you to what your expectations. so that I can implement it.
I think on RMIT, ensuring that the curriculum reflects what is happening in the world, the latest trends, would be a good response. Creating more opportunities like this, having outside speakers come and talk, or having internships where you guys go into these kind of organizations, that is the best. And if I have to say from your perspective, what you guys should do, I think continuous learning is so important. At the end of the day, there is no university in the world that teaches what is happening. There is no course. You will have to self-learn, like Chris is self-learning, he has experimented himself and he's learning. I think that is very critical to stay on top of what is happening, because nobody will teach you. You have to learn yourself. That self-drive has to be there for you to go and dirty your hands, experiment and keep learning. There are so many groups, there are so many Facebook groups, there are Facebook groups for prompts only, where they just talk about the prompts and how do you optimize or get better at writing the prompt for generative AI. So that is something that we should go and embrace.
So actually, our RMIT as a university has embraced it. Like we let our students use AI, and but of course ethically as well. So I mean, we can't stop students or anybody from using it, but we can, of course, enhance the fact that do it, but do it in an ethical way, so that it's going to help everybody.
Yeah. My kids are studying IB, and IB has allowed ChatGPT in an ethical way. Of course, you cannot do plagiarism and submit entire submission based on ChatGPT. It's not allowed, but they are encouraging to use ChatGPT to inspire and get ideas, not to misuse it. That's the difference. Use it because misuse it.
I think basically what you're saying, you need to guide. That's that. You can be a guide. So lead them on the journey. Don't just let them go because they don't know what they're doing. So if you can try to guide them, certainly in the commercial aspect. Only one thing I wanted to make was that you'll often hear it said that AI is stealing. Okay, so these are Midjourney and the rest of these AI platforms. They will they've got access to something that's a data set of say 5.8 billion images. 5.8 billion is a lot of images. So we've all seen a lot of images in our lives. We've not seen 5.8 billion images. Okay, so we can't draw on those images. We can draw on our own images. Recently, start to push back on people who say, no, it's stealing, it's all this stuff has already been done, so it's just plagiarism, nothing's original. Okay, let's take a step back. From the moment you were born, you've had stimuli, you've seen images, you've tasted food, you've touched soft things, hard things, things have cut you, things have delighted you in terms of smells, things you've seen, things you've read, all the words that you've read. You are the same as artificial intelligence. Every single thing that you do from this moment forwards is the accumulation of your knowledge up until this moment. Let's be clear about this. You are not original. Nothing you will ever do will ever be original, ever, but it might be. And it's exactly the same with AI. It's the way that we look at AI. It's not about thinking about what it can't do, it's about what it can do. I wrote a little thing recently, which I never published because I'm never going to get, the amount of haters that are going to come on board is going to be horrendous. And you have to be very careful on social media. One thing I put out there and say to everyone is, don't write negative stuff on social media. The world is full of negativity, we don't need to add to it. That's my little mantra, okay? So just, if you, as my dad died a year ago, and he always used to say, if you haven't got anything positive to say, don't say anything at all. So even though I started off a bit grumpy today, saying a few things, a few home truths, I'm incredibly positive because I like to put positivity out there into the world. Now, in terms of AI and what we are, as I say, the ideas we have now, my ideas today that I have in my job are the accumulation of all the knowledge that I've had to date. Now you could say, but you know, your AI ChatGPT is taking all those words and from all over the place and they're stealing everything. So are we. Every word that you write has already been written. Every word that you will ever say in your entire life has already been, unless you've made it up. Well, I do make up words. I make up random words to annoy my kids. But all the images that we create there and the ones that we choose are based on all the knowledge that we have. And all that knowledge has come from somewhere. That's all the accumulation of all the stuff that you've seen and heard and everything. Don't be so negative about the introducing AI. It helps you. For me, it's a great start. It doesn't have to be the end point. It can be, even if it's the end, you can take it further. And what I do in a lot of the images, which I can't present today, but you can take an image and you put it into another program, then you put it into a moving one, then you might put it into something where you can add some effects on it, then you do something else with typography, and then you're basically building stuff. It's building blocks. Bit by bit it comes together. Sorry.
Great, so I want to open the stage for questions now. So if anyone has any questions, please raise your hands and we'll give you the mics. Any questions, guys? Yes.
Thanks, guys. I found this really fascinating. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Okay. So all this technology is making it easier for you advertising guys to sell more, to make people consume more. How do you balance this with the need for the world to be more sustainable and the challenges of global warming, which we've seen, happening recently? So how can technology kind of help with that conundrum?
But I think so. Let me start first. I think. Thanks for the question. I think that's a very big topic when using technology, and especially the AI in advertising. That's the part of sustainable. I think for publishers like us, it's really our focus moving forward. Before, we tend to set up what we call the ad rules, meaning that, okay, to be able for people to still receive your ad well, we limit that. For example, Sumit only see 3 ads per day. That's very it's very how can I say, one side of it. Now with artificial intelligence and because of that, we personalize the ad receptivity for Sumit very good for you guys. And depend on the way you react to an ad, we can limit it even further. So I think that's one of the things that make ad less rejected, and that's also helped in terms of the user experience compared. So that's for us as well.
I'd say that percentages, it's actually reducing waste. Reducing waste, that's what it's waste as in time. Start. It's waste as in you're not targeting the wrong products. Somebody once said that bad targeting is like trying to sell a lawnmower to someone who lives on the 27th floor of a tower block. They're never going to use it. You don't want to see it. That's absolutely inappropriate. But if you know that someone's just had a baby, then you can target them with baby products. It's useful. And whoever thought that advertising could be useful, it cannot be. Because it's actually trying to sell you things that you actually want. So that's good. It cuts down time in terms of wasting time on the screen. I mean, you're hopefully selling to the people who want stuff, so there's less wastage because more people buy your products. There will always be issues in fast fashion. There shouldn't be. People should buy better stuff and wear it for longer. And my wife doesn't like these, but I'll wear them to annoy her for longer. But less clothes. We can do our own thing. I think it's in each and every one of us, rather than just the advertisers who needs to be saving the world. I think that we all do our tiny little bit. But I think that being able to use AI to target people means that we cut down wastage in certain ways.
I thought the example of the targeting people who really need the product in terms of their health and environmental issues, I thought that was really interesting and a very responsible use of the technology.
I think, yeah, thank you for that. Personalization helps in, like they've already captured it. So, yeah, personalization makes the content more relevant. So you're targeting the right person with the right message. So there is less wastage. That it saves clients dollars because it doesn't reach the wrong audience. And then hopefully that helps to, overall build confidence and reduce wastage.
Also, there are incentives from awards. I have to go back to awards because there are a lot of these big awards that a lot of creators want to win. They are also giving the incentives of making much more sustainable advertisements. The ones who make more sustainable ads, use technology in a more positive way, they are getting rewarded as well. So that is also one way to see that how the mindset is also changing.
First of all, thank you so much. Very interesting and insightful discussion. Just wanted to get your perspective on. I love the AI and you shared the targeting, even the one that you mentioned about the, like a SME, I can just put my product. But I see, that one is more tactical, especially the one generated by AI, which is certainly a big advantage in terms of timing. My only question, and I'm sure you would have these already, is where is this emotion? Because creativity is all about emotion, and creativity is all about the people I want to relate when I see them. When I see these fancy, like the somebody with a spaceship somewhere, it is very interesting. But where this emotion is going to be played, how would you relate to that emotion? That would be interesting.
We have to bear in mind that AI has been around for a tiny amount of time. So it's improving every single day. As I say, up until 2 weeks ago, Midjourney will give you a 12 megabyte image. Now you can get a 54 megabyte image out of it. So the quality gets better. Runway gives you a moving image. I entered a competition 3 weeks ago. My wife did a voiceover for a little film. It was dreadful. I told her she was the reason why I didn't win. I'm not a nice girl. But you create amazing moving images from text prompts, from words. But I also I tell people that we've all, if you've ever briefed anyone to do anything, how do you do it? We use words. Can you paint my house, please? Yes. What colour do you want it? I want it white. Great. Okay, that's a brief. But you use words to do that. People say, you're just creating art from just a series of words. How the hell else do you create it? If you're asking someone to do something, you ask them with words. Could you paint my portrait, please? Yeah. Could you paint me in a surrealist style, please? Yeah, great. Why have I got 3 eyes? Because you asked for a surrealist style. Okay. We always use words for prompts. The prompts are getting more sophisticated, the technology is getting more sophisticated. The emotional stuff will always come from the original idea. That's always where it's going to come from. They're executing it, if you can use AI to execute it, it will get more sophisticated all the time, and then it'll get to the stage, everyone's scared of deep fakes. I'm not sure if Arthur C. Clarke's surviving relatives, if they heard that, they'd think, oh my God, it sounds like that. I don't know. Or maybe they go, oh, that sounds a bit weird, it's not quite like what Dad used to sound. Does it matter? Well, a guy who works for charities asked me to do some work for Amnesty International, and he said, can we do a deep fake of Putin saying how much he loves prisons of conscience? I said, yes, but ethically, no. I'm not going to do that. That's not my thing. So we all have our boundaries. I won't do cigarette advertising. I won't do beer advertising. That's not my thing. And for personal reasons, and it's like, okay. In fact, I try not to do bank advertising. Not other banks either. But occasionally it was AI over back and got that. I go with AI, that's fine. The emotional stuff, the things that most of the advertising in Vietnam is a series of it's product advertising. Basically, it's formulaic. It's bullet points. You have to say this. You have to say this. You have to say this. They tick every box apart from the one which says, "Did I feel anything?" If you always look at the best ads, the ones that you really remember, the ones that you laughed over, that you cried over, that really pulled your heartstrings or really wowed you, amazed you, they make you feel something. That's the difference. If you can make people feel something rather than just know something. Vietnamese advertisers want you to know how good the product is, which really about something. It's all about feeling. You can, whichever partner you've got, whether you're married or not married or whatever, or you're looking for a partner, you don't write down a checklist because it's not about.
So building on his question, right? Like when we look at the AI generated images or videos, they look AI generated, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
how do you build that emotion and make it look realistic? I think that is where you look. I mean, they look, everything looks beautiful, surreal, too perfect. So it will evolve, I guess.
That particular film, they wanted to show off their AI credentials. Literally, we do AI. DBS, we're here, we're so advanced, we're so progressive, we're doing AI. They asked us to put that disclaimer at the beginning because nobody knew it was AI. And we think, well, it's obviously AI. There are not that many people that are tuned into AI, and they're all like, they don't really want, some people just don't want to know. If you want AI to be so perfect that it just recreates reality, you can. But then there's photographers versus painters. Painters give you something which photographers can't give you. Photographers give you something painters can't give you. There is some crossover. You get these painters who do photographic images, and you get photographers who will give you a more abstract and sort of more painterly approach. But really, it just nothing is to say it has to be a perfect human being. They have to be like a movie star. I mean, you've got the Cadbury's thing, and it's brilliant. That's one execution. I mean, all the time I follow lots of different people doing films and AI stuff, and some of them really think, is that AI? Is it me? But some of them absolutely obviously are, and you think that's okay too, or everything's okay, because everyone's experimenting right now. The quality's going up all the time, and eventually you will get to a stage where the whole landscape's changed, and it's better to know than not know. I promise you, everyone, but try it all. It's better to know than not know, really. If every one of your friends has been to see a movie and you haven't, you feel a bit left out. I jump on this so-called bandwagon of AI and start learning. It's really, really useful. It'll help you with your jobs, I promise you. I tell my kids this. When you?
Yeah. So let's see this video. It is about emotion. So this is a TV scene. It's for Unilever brand called Brook. It's a tea brand, and it's a TV scene that uses the terms that we use today in digital marketing, whether it's likes and social media, etc. So take a look at this and see the emotion that it evokes.
सोशल नेटवर्किंग के लिए इंटरनेट की जरूरत है। इनसे मसूलियत ने अपने नए पड़ोसी को फ्रेंड रिक्वेस्ट भेज दी और ये उन्होंने झट से एक्सेप्ट कर लिया। अब लाइक्स की बात करें तो आपको कितने लाइक्स मिलते हैं? जी को रोज 1000-2000 लाइक्स मिल ही जाते हैं। और जब बारिश होती है तो अतुल की चाय पूरे हॉस्टल में ट्रेंड करने लगती है। चाय का कोई मुकाबला ही नहीं है। और स्टोरीज एक बार शुरू हो जाए तो बस यही चाय का कप है, इंडिया का सबसे फेवरेट सोशल नेटवर्क।
India's favorite social network. It's a great app. Great emotions and
There is a huge advantage for expanding.
any more questions? Yes.
I'm really interested on the concept of accurator because I see a lot of garbage on my phone. It's all around our way. So, in terms of instead of sustainability, in terms of really bottom up, how we can like capture the business. Like, yes, we take a lot, right? And then you integrate it and AI learn that. So on your experience, how like individual like can capture a picture, something should not be captured. Sometimes I find out in us, we really like capture something irrelevant, but something very touch, we don't have time to capture that. And we miss a lot of meaningful messages about ourselves. So can you share a bit on some suggestion how like individual also can capture good picture or how to capture people like the image?
Thank you for the question. So the reason why I took away the mic is because just recently I saw this ad for Google phone, where they're basically, it's a new phone, where they take a picture and the picture is not correct, and immediately they press a button and the picture becomes like nice. So probably there's less wastage of you don't have to take 10 photos. You take one photo and then it will correct it itself. So I mean, brands, companies, they're starting to use that. Like Adobe is, Adobe felt probably threatened with Midjourney and AI. So they immediately started to create television ads right now where they're saying that yes, children can also use AI. So all these things are being done by the brands to make our lives easier, and of course photos are so important.
Can I talk? I mean, you're asking about taking good pictures, and you're asking about meaningful moments and things. Sometimes it's really good to not take any pictures. It's really, really nice to just be in the moment and screw the pictures, keep them as memories. There's pictures in your head, really, really nice pictures in your head. There's a brand new company which launched, and it's called an AI Pin, P-I-N. They call it a company called Humane. It was people who used to work at Apple. They launched it last week. And it sits in here. So you don't see it. And in there, you can chat to it, and you can say, can you take me a picture of all the people in front of me? It takes a picture. So I don't have to do this. Because as soon as I do that, forever, we've been putting a block between ourselves. This blocks me from you, and you from me. We think it's nice because taking a picture of all these happy people, but I'm looking at the screen, I'm not looking at you. If I can do this and say, can you take a picture of all these people? Just scan, actually video, just a video, right? And I scan around the room, and you think, brilliant, there you are, I've got the video. So I can start recording now. Okay, can you tell me what time our meeting is this afternoon? I forgot. It's 3:30. Going to be late again. Humane pushing an agenda which is getting rid of technology which you can't see. They don't want technology in any way anymore, and it's a brilliant agenda in terms of taking pictures and things. Each time I try to get my phone out to take a picture of my kids, they either fall over and hurt themselves, or I missed it anyway. And I got to the point where I thought, forget it. Just enjoy the moment of watching them play. You don't have to take pictures of the food that you eat. I hate to say, but nobody cares unless you're a food photographer or you're a food blogger, and that's your job. If it's your job to take pictures of food, take pictures of food, otherwise you're not that interested. I still take pictures of food. I'm not going to say I'm not perfect by any means, but you can. It's amazing, but you can't just enjoy eating your food without taking a picture of it. There's some brilliant ads that were done for diesel, and they were called Be a Follower. They were taking the piss out of influencers and how hard it is to be an influencer. When you go and have your food, you've got to take all these million pictures of your food from all different angles to get the lighting right, and then the food's gone cold. And they showed people running down the street eating burgers and all the shit, all the tomato ketchup is pouring down their fronts and stuff, and they don't care. And that's food. They're both food, but one has to be just exactly perfectly right. And they show people like getting on a plane, travelling as an influence is really hard because you've got 27 suitcases. And yet these people have got a rucksack and a toothbrush and they run on the plane and they don't miss the plane. There's stuff like that that we forget that don't forget real life. Be involved in the now. It's just, I've been through many different ups and downs in life. And when you realise that if you enjoy the moment rather than regretting something that you did before because you can't change it anyway, or worrying about the future because you don't have very much control over it, if I'm honest, there's almost next to no control, then enjoy now, enjoy the moment now, and don't actually have to feel that it's recorded. I went to, it's closed down now sadly, there's a you'll know him. He's a very famous Vietnamese saxophone player.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Anyone
know him?
Oh, he had a jazz club too.
Jazz club on yeah, so it's closed now, sadly it's closed. I went to see him years ago, absolutely outstanding, and not even going more than outstanding, he brought his daughter on stage and she played and she was mind-blowingly good as well. And when I got home, I put a post on Facebook and he said, here are the pictures that I didn't take at the jazz club tonight. Here's the video that I didn't record at the jazz club tonight. And here, this is the post that I'm writing after I watched the performance because it is called a post, which means after. So I'm posting this at the end of tonight's event because I got to watch an amazing saxophone player and I got to watch his fantastic virtuoso daughter play a wonderful instrument, and I got to appreciate the entire evening without the need to record the whole damn thing and pull my phone up in front of it and to play to you guys. If you want to go and see it, buy a fucking ticket, go and watch it yourself. You don't need to see my recording of it. You can go watch it yourself because it's that amazing. Go and see it. You don't have to. This is the first time I realised this. Really, I mean, I can't remember how old I was. I'm old, but I was even a little bit less old then. You thought, you don't have to take pictures. You don't have to video stuff. You can just enjoy it. There's an artist called Jack White. He's the White Stripes. And I've been singing, to me, a guitar god, a legend in rock. He played here this time last year in Vietnam, and it's amazing. I know Blackpink have played Hanoi this year, and that's amazing too, even more amazing. But Jack White was one of the biggest artists in the world, comes here. Mobile phones are banned at his concerts. You can't put your mobile phone up and record anything. Because the one people record it, once you listen to it. And also, you don't want to be standing behind someone who's got a phone up, and in fact a sea of phones. And it almost illuminates, when in a dark room, it almost illuminates the entire room with all the bloody phone screens. We don't want to see your phone screens. I took my 3 big kids to see the water puppet show in Hanoi. And it's beautiful. I shouted to the 2 guys in front of me, guys, can you put your bloody cameras down? I'm sick of looking at the back of your screen. I'm really, really rude, I know it was. But they go, okay, sorry. And then he tried to squeeze it back up again. Bam! Smack on the head. Put it down. Because all I could see, my kids could see, was their cameras, the back of the screens of the cameras. We can't even see the show. really, really rude. So hopefully these little AI pins like this, not this phone, but AI pins will help alleviate that. But yeah, sorry, it's a long-winded answer, but enjoy life without the feeling the need to record it.
Okay, we have one last question. Okay, so two questions. Quick.
Okay, I just wanted to come back to the technology and talking about people taking photos and communal likings in general. That what pushes a lot of the progress, even though we don't like it sometimes. So advertising, good advertising, always takes a fair degree of risk, and that decision usually made by people. But if we come into the age of AI and algorithms, like in that Facebook algorithm movie, right, which is quite scary. So will we not be finding ourselves in, Procter & Gamble reality, where what people like, what crowd likes, becomes mainstream?
That's that. So Richie right now, there's 4 guys and me putting together a new agency, which is one of the guys Mike termed it as our mission is to put ourselves out of business. I think, well, that's a bit weird. Why the hell would you do that? Well, we'd be in a different business then. One of the guys said 90% of advertising is absolute wallpaper garbage. Great, because AI can do that. We're not going to get away from people wanting to sell their product benefits. That's not going to happen, particularly in Vietnam. So, but an AI can automate that. It can automate. You don't have to get involved in it. Not all advertising is going to be fantastic, because even if everything was fantastic, then that would be the norm, and then it becomes boring. So something else is going to have to be even more fantastic to stand out. The majority of advertising is garbage in everyone's mind. People pay to watch movies. People pay to listen to music. People pay not to see advertising. So that's where we stand in life. That's what we stand. So let's understand our importance in the world is extremely low. But to keep people in business, the people who make the products that we sell, they got families. They need to eat. They've all got dreams and ambitions. These are people that we are actually, I hate to say it, we are a really important job, because we help sell products, and the people who make those products, the people who ship those products, the shops that sell those products, they're all people who are employed. You stop selling products, and those people, they lose their jobs, they lose their livelihoods. So it's a bigger industry than just those dirty advertising people. But in terms of what you're saying about, are we all going to get fed terrible work? Hopefully not. What we're going to get fed is personalised work that knows you. Because in direct marketing, we used to try to learn about the people. You use all the data, and you segment things. So one time, this is 25 years ago, we did a letter. It was from a mobile phone operator. And there were 1,200 variations in this letter. There were 1,200 variations. Because it depended on how long you've been a customer, your spending package, how much you used SMS messaging, how much you did calls, and all of this stuff went into. There was only one place in the world at that time you could print the letters, and it was in Ireland. And they would be sent out personalised letters, and they won lots of awards for personalisation. I think, really? But yes, because it's very clever use of data. We try to know you. If we know you, we can advertise to you in a much more realistic way. Less wastage. Everything is like, we know that you like, Nike trainers. Nike wants to talk to you. Of course they do. Adidas should probably like to talk to you too, but you're probably going to be loyal to Nike, therefore, so Nike wants to talk to you a bit more, show you a bit more of their new range that's coming out. And it's a sustainable range, by the way. And we're going to show you some new sustainable trainers. Ticking all my boxes here. Of course it is, because we know something about you. There's also,
I think to be on the first point, I think it's people pay to see a movie, meaning people choose to spend 2 or 3 hours in a different realities. So I think, to answer your question, I think it's important to empower people to make choice. And secondly is to also well inform them about all the perspective of that choice. So, and then it's up to the people, right? You cannot prevent them from going into Matrix because they enjoy it so even better than realities. But again, I think keep them well informed is our responsibility. Like RMIT's responsibility to also educate people about their rights and the information that they receive.
Yeah, just to also add, I think risk, taking the risk is very important when you push the envelope on creativity. And like talking of how everything is a wallpaper, currently all text ads look the same, exactly the same. You can replace the logos and they will all look the same. They're all red, they're all yellow, everything is the same. Firecrackers, 10 symbols, right? So there is, on a point on wallpaper, it is a wallpaper. But you see the example of Cadbury's, right? How they use technology to personalize it. So you can send the right message to the right audience. You don't need to, she's interested in fashion, so you won't even cater and send the fashion. Plus you send an ad for a store that is right next to you. So technology can help once you personalize it, and then you will get this delight from the user. Yeah, so
That is the core learning from the session is how technology can personalize and connect with all of us in a much better way. If there is someone who wants to ask a question in Vietnamese, please you can also do that because we have interpreters who can translate the question and we can answer back. So is there anyone who wants to ask a question in Vietnamese also? Yeah? Okay, so I think we'll probably end the session here or it will just go ahead. You have one question?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, go, sure. Last question, okay?
It's not in Vietnamese.
Okay, no problem.
So it's really to continue the talk, the discussion and what you have just shared on personalization and on customization. Also on the point of view that An Bình, you also mentioned people in rural areas, they still watch TV. However, in District 7 in my house, my grandmother and my auntie are still watching TVs. So when talking about technologies and disruptions, we talk a lot on screen, that we don't bring it to the advancement and the improvement of advertising, of mainstream advertising. And so I just want to hear on your point of view on what if we get out of the screen and move back to TV, move back to radio, move back to VOD, video on demand. There can still room to play with it. So what are other than ChatGPT, other than screen, what are the improvements that you are bringing in and you are thinking of?
Let me quickly jump in. I think from the start, I'm sharing one of the key trends is advertising become more and more native, blending into the surround context environment. So I agree. I think screen is just one because everyone are holding a phone. That's why it's so important. But for example, in Zalo, we embedding advertising into voice because now we have Kiki, the personal assistant, that embedded in all the car. And when you go in on the road, you don't see the screen, right? The traffic is there. But then when you press button and you talk to the personal assistant, information can provide you from there as well. So that I agree. Screen is just one channel. Make sure that you understand people and how they consume information and entertainment, to make sure that your app become relevant. So that's it.
And just so yes, your grandmother and your aunt watching TV, right? And what we are talking currently is all about other technologies, mobile essentially, and computer screens. But guess what? Your TV is becoming smart TV, right? So it's going to eventually have the same capability as your mobile phone. We will have the same capability to target your grandmother because we know you live in District 7. In the traditional TV we cannot, but once you have a smart TV we will be able to because we know how many smart TVs are there and we can separate and personalize ads to different audiences. So that will happen. In fact, Vietnam is one of the biggest smart TV audiences in the world.
Okay, thank you so much for this insightful session. We got some great answers. We had a very maybe a little bit of controversial discussion as well. But it all kind of if we put everything together, then it makes us a little bit more knowledgeable about how technology is playing a role, especially in Vietnam, especially in the field of advertising. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.